Hey there, groovy dudes and dudettes, this is Thomper Be Thompin', and in this video I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of my experience with the Ricochet Off Road skid plates for the Brute Force 300. I have a 2018, but the Brute Force 300 is unchanged from 2012 up until present, 2020, 2021 models. So I'm going to tell you about my likes and dislikes, my experience so far. If I'd buy them again, I'll talk about price and materials used and how they were to install and everything like that. So I'm going to turn the camera around and start getting some close-ups. Okay, so we're going to dive right in and show you the different pieces that you can purchase. So this back piece that covers from floorboard to floorboard and then right up to basically where the A-arms attach up here, that's all one piece. And then you have your main front bash plate, that's another single piece. Those two combined are sold for $188.95 plus shipping and handling. And then there's also the optional A-arm skid plates for an additional $95 plus shipping and handling. You can get these in two different colors. You can go with the natural colored aluminum here, or you can get them in an anodized black as I think a $25 option. I would definitely just go for the regular aluminum because, as you can see, I've painted mine orange. This little ATV has orange accents on it, so if you've got green, white, whatever, blue, red accents, you can just grab a rattle can and spray them to match, which is pretty sweet looking, huh? But the aluminum that they use is 3/16 inch 5052 aluminum, and so far it has held up really well. Oh man, you're not really gonna be able to see too many of the scrapes, but I have beaten these skid plates up pretty bad so far. You do not get anything for the rear. Obviously, you've got the steel swing arm that's all welded and box framed. And then there's a tiny plastic, but so far pretty durable, little tiny skid that goes underneath the rear differential. And that has worked well. I really have put these through their paces. I'm at the Tasker's Gap Off Road location here in Virginia in the GW National Forest. And some of the trails here are insanely rocky. And I have definitely just skidded over rock after rock after rock, going about a mile an hour, essentially just mountain climbing over these boulders. And these skid plates are the only thing that got me through it. Now, the attachment points are primarily these, what are they? I think they might be zinc coated clamps, but they're made of steel. They bolt on. And you just traditional clamp that goes all over your A-arms and your tube frame. There are some additional bolts. The one bad thing about these skid plates is that they do require a little extra work from you. I think the instructions say that there's no extra work needed, no drilling, no cutting, no whatever, trimming or nothing. But I did have to drill a hole for the A-arms out towards the knuckle here on each side. And then here's the worst of it all. The manual says that you need to change the transmission case oil at least once a year. However, this Ricochet skid plate does not give you a hole to access that drain plug. They do give you a hole for the CVT on the other side there, I think, should you need to drain water. And then they give you a hole to access the engine oil drain plug. Both of those work just fine, but I had to cut out this hole to access the transmission drain plug for the oil. There is a little cross member that's welded on to the frame on the bottom that comes stock. And so you've got to be aware of that when you cut a hole to access your drain plug. So just be careful, measure thrice. Right, cut once. But I will say that for the 2020 Kodiak 450, I bought the entire skid plate package from Ricochet Off Road for them, and I didn't have to do any cutting whatsoever. That was a straight up bolt on, no drilling, no cutting, no trimming. There's one major difference in the A-arm skid plates on something that's only two-wheel drive versus something that has, you know, front-wheel drive axles. Because there's no boots over here, they kept the A-arm front leading edge here pretty shallow, pretty short. And you know, on like something like the Kodiak 450, these things come up a lot higher and extend all the way out to protect your inner and outer boots. And the hardware that they use, they give you some, did I get these? No, I think they supplied these bolts. They supplied these bolts for the outer A-arm, but most of these are just T45 bolts that are nice and rounded off, and I have yet to shear any of those off yet. So I would absolutely buy these skid plates again. They're a bit pricey. They're much more expensive for the 450 because you're simply ordering more material. But if you're doing any kind of riding where you're going to be bouncing off boulders or going down trails that you're not quite sure of what the terrain is like, I highly recommend getting them. I am completely satisfied. I'd buy them again in a heartbeat. All right, thanks for watching.